Hello, good morning, and welcome back to Reaper Pro Tips with me, your host, the infinitely late Anne, and the infinitely on-time Quindy, and the temporally challenged John, and the completely off of the timeline Justin. Yeah, happy Friday, happy 5th Monday. I got totally discombobulated this morning because David and I got up in the wrong order. You know how you get in that routine and you're like, do, and everything goes by clockwork, right? So I'm cleaning up in the kitchen. I'm looking at the kitchen clock because it's right in front of me. And then I have to run to the restroom and I look at my actual phone, which is actually the correct time, unlike the kitchen clock. And I'm like, who knows? So yeah, sorry for lateness, guys. Yes. And I don't know that John is temporally challenged. John could be completely on the timeline, as far as I know. Obviously I wasn't, so how am I supposed to know if anybody else is on time? It's silly. Life is silly. This is the moral of the story goes, guys. Life is silly. Life is silly, just paint. Hello, Splat. Been a long time. How you doing? Oh, let's see here. I do not need this thing today, I don't think. Well, maybe I do. So we'll keep the thing close. But yeah, it's Friday. I'm glad it's the weekend. I need the weekend, please. Yeah, I mean, Einstein said that time is a complete illusion. Albeit a very persistent one. Was that what the quote was? Oh. God, I've got many Kickstarters. I just had to commit to the shipping costs on the Scale Color artist one. So I am not kickstarting anything else right now. And I'm in on the Bones Kickstarter. Trying to decide if I want the guard tower add-ons for the lighthouse, or if I want to keep it a lighthouse. It's kind of cooler as a lighthouse, but I don't know. Maybe I want the option bits. It cost you too much to stay married. Yeah, that's the silly thing about work, right? It actually pays bills. Oh yeah. A wooden screen. Well, it would look cool. But yeah. I mean, it's one of those gamer luxury items, right? And if you can do it, it would be super cool to have a wooden GM screen. But is it can you put new things on it? I assume, is it a DM screen where you can put stuff on it for every game, or is it just for one game? Buy a GM screen or buy a car. So, do you guys remember Geek Chic, the company that used to make all those awesome gaming tables? I know a person who has one, but there actually was a market for luxury gamer tables, and I think other companies are doing them now. But they went under because it was just start up on a new project, Quindy. Yes, weekend, exactly. Hello, small endeavors. Welcome to the screen. I'm Anne, or stream, or something. I don't know. It's been a week of Mondays. Just, hi. Hi, I'm Anne, and I work for Reaper. Woohoo! There we go. We're working on a Madame Delia. We're also getting horribly distracted by a Wormwood GM screen. Magnetic connection points and accessories. Oh my gosh. No. 10K for a screen? And I've invested. Okay, now, if I really am honest, guys, over the course of my gaming career, I have probably easily hit several $1,000s worth of, maybe even 10K worth of gaming books. I wouldn't be surprised if I added up all of the D&D that I bought over all 5 editions, plus all of the World of Darkness books, every single World of Darkness book for Vampire and Werewolf, several for Mage, you know, and all of the other random books, plus Monty Cook, Tallest, that was at least $120. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, oh, 10K for a nice table. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, and that's close. I think that's close to what Geek Chic used to charge too. But yeah, and there are people who will buy them. Like there is a market for that sort of thing. Geek Chic went under because they had too much demand and they overcommitted. Yeah, that's yeah, like seriously. You could double your lifetime gaming expenditures with one table. Who knows? Maybe I've actually spent more than that. Like that would be kind of cool and also kind of frightening. If we could just go back and like magically manifest every receipt that we have spent on role-playing games over the years, including dice. Dice don't get a buy. That's at least a few $100 right there. And all of the boxes and box sets and books and screens and sheets, and I wouldn't count miniatures. Miniatures are their own hobby. Unless it was a miniature directly for the game, like a character. Yeah, because you can build a nice table in Agent Marvel. Most of us can't build tables. Yeah, 18 months out. See, they better watch out because that's what killed Geek Chic. That is what you see. That makes me reluctant to buy into that Kickstarter right there, Gibson, because that's the problem. Is that you commit and then it takes you so long to deliver that you get in trouble. Like, yeah. Your math clackies don't count. Spreadsheet for your minis. I started putting the cost of each figure until I was only like 10% of the way through and I already hit a number that made you go. Oh, yeah. I mean, okay, so my role-playing game hobby might be 10K, but my miniatures hobby is gotta be into it's got like tens of thousands. Like seriously, over the course of my life, it would not surprise me. Would not surprise me one bit. Like if I even totaled up the miniatures cost of what I've got right now, because everything I've got is like only 3 or 4 boxes, but it's like busts, which are 50 or 60 a crack, right? You hit 6,000 pretty quick. Oh man. I hope so, Crows. I hope so. Yeah, Prophecy isn't Kickstarter. I get it. I just, I've seen so many companies. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I just worry. Because of what happens to Geek Chic, because they were really nice people, but they just got so far behind that they essentially, you can't just stop taking orders because that's your money stream. But you kind of have to stop taking orders because you have to build things. So it's so hard. Well, plus they probably got hit pretty hard right by the pandemic. So I'll totally give them a buy on that. That's totally different. Just fingers crossed that they keep going, that they can get back. Yeah, that's good, Gibson. Yeah, I liked them too. They were good people. That's why I was sad. I was super sad when they went under, when they had to shut down. But that was why they had to shut down. They got too far behind, and the income that they had to stop taking orders, and essentially that would kill them. So, whew. As long as you're staying on budget and your bills are paid, I don't want to know. Yes, that's what we are with our hobby, right, guys? As long as our bills are paid. So, we're gonna do our glaze here to get this the red onto the little pattern here. And we're using Magma Red. It's an orangey red. It's pretty strong. If you ever want to build a table. Yeah, that's cool, Nimwadzik. Yeah, we don't really have room for a gaming table. We have to use our kitchen table if we want to game our dining room table. I guess it's kind of the same thing. All right, let's build a pretty strong glaze. You start with 2 drops of Magma Red. Magma Red's really highly pigmented, has a crap ton of red, and a fair load of orange phase yellow in it. So it's well pigmented. I'm going to add 2 drops of water to it. So that's a 1-to-1, which is about the start of glazing. And reds, even highly pigmented reds, tend to not have as great coverage. So No, Mad Zeke. If I'm gonna do it, if I'm gonna actually try to figure it out, I'll actually try to figure it out. But yeah, I'm certain I'm in the tens of thousands, multiple tens of thousands with miniatures. Considering how long I've been doing miniatures and how many armies I've had, Warhammer armies. Seriously, I mean, a Warhammer army alone is going to cost you over 1,000, possibly up to 2,000, depending on how big you're getting. So. Yeah, it's just, let's not go there. I'm with you, Quindy. Dear me. Yeah, it's just scary, right? And I don't even do Warhammer anymore. Although David keeps acquiring more and more chaos, and I keep teasing him that, you're going to end up with an army. He likes corn. I don't know how I ended up engaged to a cornate. Like, we should be arch enemies, because I was like Slaanesh and Tzeentch. Oh, I've been in the hobby. I mean, I still have an army, Gibson. I never picked up Age of Sigmar, and that's kind of sad, because I actually really like the models. But I did have Warhammer Fantasy, multiple armies, and I had... I still have my Eldar. At least I have a section of my Eldar for 40k. I gave away pretty much anything that I hadn't built. I gave to one of my paint clubbers before I left, who was a kid. He was a kid. He didn't have a huge budget for 40k, but he loved Eldar. So I was a good Ann, and I'm like, you know what? Here. So I've totally enabled some kids' Warhammer habit. Although I kept the Age of Sigmar models, and the game is supposed to be good. Like, I'm kind of tempted. Yeah, I hear you, crows. We have an offer to start up a role playing group, and I need to get on it. It's just like so busy. Maybe I'll work on that this weekend. All right, so first glaze takes you down a bit, but it's not as rich as this glaze, as you can see. So this is where we're kind of building it up. We did the white underpainting against this very dark red, or Gathoa red, so that we could see it, essentially. So it shows up really well. But you can see that it's a little bit more, like it blends in a little bit more up here. And it is still a little bit lighter back here. So that means we're going to be doing a second layer. Yeah, I got this model to paint for Golden Demon next year. Because I wasn't feeling it with my Stormcast. So I got this dude, which is the Teclis's army. He's got a funky hat. I like the version with the less funky hat. That version. I like the animal. The animal has little cat feet. It's like a deer cow cat or something. I don't know. I like it. So, if I did an army, maybe I would go for those. The thing about armies that I've learned, Gibson, and that even held true when I was doing Warlord, that Reaper started once upon a time. But I really have to get like one unit and paint it. And then I can buy the next one. Because otherwise I feel so overwhelmed. That's why I ended up like giving my younger friend, the Eldar that I hadn't actually broken out of the box and stuff. Because I was like, having all that stuff actually didn't feel good. It felt like it was kind of sitting on my chest. So that's my strategy. So I need to paint this one model. And after I paint this model, maybe I can buy a unit to go with him. Warlord was fun. But yeah, whatever you want to say about some companies' pricing, there are companies that do produce great models, and GW is one of them. But I do endorse, however, Reaper is so very affordable. And I really appreciate that about my company. Like that's been Ed's goal since like pretty much day one of Reaper, was to make affordable, good miniatures. Like that right there. If you had to like get a mission statement for Reaper, good, affordable miniatures. Which is why Bones is like the perfect point where we're at. All right, so second glaze actually gives us a really nice kind of finish there. I think I did actually bring in some clear red on the front, or maybe even some magenta. So I'm going to grab my clear red, because this is showing up pretty orange, but that's okay. I can see where I put touches of other color in. Now the clears are great for this, and I use magma because it's almost a clear. It doesn't have any white pigment in it. Yeah, that's exactly it, Gibson. Good tactic. Good tactic. But yeah, I do want to have something for Golden Demon next year, so. There was a guy when I was in Golden Demons back in the day called Brett DeWald. And Brett pretty much had an entire Space Marine army that was Golden Demon winning. Like, he would just finish, like, a unit and a character and a whatever, and he would just enter them all in Golden Demon, and he consistently won Golden Demons with them. So he was just starting a fantasy army at the time when he stopped doing Golden Demons. But it was pretty funny. But I'm kind of, like, into maybe emulating Brett's example, because I always thought it was really totally cool that he had this beautiful army, and it took him many, many years to paint, but it was gorgeous. Like, it was just freaking amazing. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. All right, so just to show you the difference between these two colors, so you can see, let me get the big base because that makes it better. The white palette sometimes throws it. So you can see that these are very similar colors, but you can see how orangey the magma red is. And that's on purpose because it's made for fire effects. And then the clear red is kind of a neutrally red. If I had to say it went one way or the other, I think it goes slightly colder. Like, you can see it, right? See the orange shift, and this is almost just a tiny bit cooler shift. But if we put this red next to like a magenta and red mix, it would look very warm. So yeah. But clear red is about like as close to a spectrum red as you're going to get. And by spectrum red, I mean neither warm nor cool. There isn't actually a spectrum red available in pigments, in commonly available pigments. There is a spectrum yellow. Some companies do put out that color of paint. Spectrum yellow means it's like midway between warm and cool. Like, it's on that perfect point. But nobody has figured out how to make a spectrum red or a spectrum blue yet. So the reds are either warm or cool, and so are the blues. Yeah, when I was younger, where it was like Partha paint and all that, it seems like everybody just had an orangey red, and I was always looking for that cooler red, and I could never find it. So now I'm happy that we have both. Like, the miniatures market has woken up to the art side. So I'm just going to paint a little bit of my clear red in here. And I did not thin the clear red as much as I thinned the magma, but you can see that they're still similar. And that's because clear red is clear red for a reason. The clear brights are made really aiming for not optimal coverage. They're aiming for a color bomb instead. So when I put this red on here, you can see how intense it gets very quickly. So I'm going to kind of do the stuff that's in the shadows and that's on the vertical surfaces. I'm just going to kind of paint over them with the little letters. I'm not being perfect about it. But that'll give it an even more intense look. And I'm purposefully keeping the things that are up on top of the fold that orangier color so that it looks almost like highlights. That's purposeful. There. Now you can see the folds, right? You can see the orange picking up all those big folds, which is super cool. Yeah, when I was really getting back, like I started painting when I was actually in grade school or early high school, because that's when I got into D&D. But I didn't really like dive into the hobby head first till college, because, I didn't have a source of personal income and stuff like that enables you to do that. So it was parental gifts or nothing. And then, then I started really, that was when Partha Paint was out. That was when Reaper was just starting. Like I saw the first ever Reaper miniatures in my local game store. Yeah, but I used Partha, but much like Propane, I wasn't a fan of the texture. I was always looking for, like I used Citadel a lot because I liked the texture more. But then when Vallejo came out, I really liked Vallejo. There were just a few things about it that annoyed me. So then when I went to create Master Series, I essentially tried to make something that had like a Vallejo-ish texture, but that wouldn't fall apart and that would stick better. So that gets us to where we are now with Master Series paint. I actually started with Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. And then in college was 2nd edition. So then I got like much into it. So I had a ton of 2nd edition books. So I'm going to get some rich leather so we can also paint over all this gold. Notice how easy it was to just do that, by the way. That was super fast to do that red ribbon. Yeah, 2nd edition, because it was out for so long and because we played so much of it, I had pretty much memorized. And then the editions started to come faster, so I really didn't get that anymore. I played a decent amount of 3 and 3.5. But not, I was, at that point, I wasn't in college anymore, so I didn't have the steady games. And usually when we gamed, we often gamed with different things. Like I was running Werewolf, I was playing Champions or Call of Cthulhu or whatever. We weren't playing D&D. Yeah, that makes sense. Partha to Reaper Pro. Mm-hmm. And then Partha went under. Alrighty. So we got our rich leather, which is our base for our gold. It's quite different. We're going to put that over these other white things to start out our gold design, just like we do, to get it to look like we did. Oh, I haven't fixed my focus. There we go. Now we're fixed. Sorry, guys. We're broken. It's just a broken day. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. Yeah. Well, but I always tell people, Gibson, that that's actually a pro when you're dealing with Reaper paint, because as far as I'm concerned, like, always order direct from Reaper with Reaper paint because you get the freshest batch. Guaranteed, because Reaper, obviously we make it on site, so the batch that's in the bin is the freshest batch. But the batch that's at the distributor may not be the best, the batch, and thus the game store may not be getting the freshest batch. Not that it matters when your paint lasts for 15 years, but I don't know. I like fresh paint. I like to know when I get my bottle of paint that it's going to have maximum lifespan. Maybe that's just me. So again, I put one layer of this over the top, and this is actually kind of base coaty, but rich leather is more of a translucent paint. So this is, I think, a 4-to-1. I might be wrong. I might have done a 2-to-1. Sometimes I default to 2-to-1. And I'm just painting it over this. And because there's such a difference, because this paint is relatively transparent, I don't have to be perfect in my painting. It's really not going to show if I'm outside the lines because this paint is so translucent. Over the dark red, it's just not going to show. So as long as you can get your initial white lines looking good, if you blorf a bit with your gold lines, with your initial gold lines, you're going to be just fine. Nice. Yeah, cool, Crowley. Yeah, my problem right now is just that my free time is so precious to me that I'm like, what do I want to do with it, right? Do I want to get a role-playing game again, or do I want more time to just kind of veg and recover from the week, or, you know, do I want more painting time for me? Oh, I ordered some things yesterday. I'm excited. So David has this great book. It's one of the FAQ books from AK, like the Kirill one. Except this one's all about terrain and dioramas. So I actually ordered, I had forgotten, and I used to own some of these, but they probably did not make the move with me. But I ordered some rock molds and some plaster. David was all excited when I did that. He's like, you ordered things I can use. Because, of course, he likes to build bases more than me. But I decided that I really actually like working with plaster. It lets you kind of freeform base shapes and over either a styrofoam or cork base or both. And so I decided I wanted to try it again. It's been years and years since I worked with plaster. Probably not since college. So we're getting one layer and then we're going to do a second. Remember to see the second layer is nice and dark. Yeah, rock molds are cool. There's some really neat ones out there, and I like the big ones because then you can just kind of pour the plaster selectively and like get little rocks out of it. They've got little rocks one too if you want like more of a sharper or deeper cut rock. But I decided to just start experimenting again. Oh, Dune franchise, huh, Polaris? Yeah, I ran a bit of 4th edition. I actually liked it because I was running for new people. New players, the 4th edition was actually pretty intuitive. So I had fun. I thought it was very easy to teach. I played a monk in that edition and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, so all of this, the terrain book came from the fact that I'm trying to figure out what I want to paint, what the base I want is for my Battle Nun. Plus, I've got all those other Limbo figures, and I want to do nice bases for all of them. They're all going to be competition paint jobs, so I'm like, because they're so cool, and I can't stop thinking about them. So yeah, I decided that plaster and molds was a good investment, because then I could maybe theme my bases. David thinks my Battle Nun should be in a ruined church, but I don't know. I'm not sold on that yet. Yeah, the death of the OGL. Yep. So, actually, that brings up something. Is there an open gaming license out there somewhere? Like, is there a system that you can just use for your own role-playing game, like that people like, not just one that's out there and kind of is like meh, but one that people actually like? Like, is there such a thing right now as an OGL for some role-playing game structure? I was just curious. And I figured you guys are some of the biggest nerds I know. And that's a compliment, by the way. So you would know. Because the OGL was such a great idea. But, I mean, I see how it's hard to make money off of it a bit. I mean, it gets you money down the road because, people who learn how to play one game obviously know how to play your game. But sometimes it doesn't get you direct money to have an OGL. $5E is OGL? Okay, I wondered. There's also OpenD6. Version 1.0A. Okay, yeah, I wondered about that. I wondered if 5E was OGL. That's good to know. It's just like I see, because of course I'm still working on like my published author thing, right? So there is an author whose books I listen to who actually is producing a role-playing game for his universe, or was talking like he was, and so it got me wondering if there was an OGL, because that's pretty cool. Because if you can be a self-published author with a popular world, and there's a decent OGL out there, so you can create your own role-playing materials, then you can self-publish your own role-playing books, and that, my friends, is like, that sounds like bucket list to me. Technically, I've never wanted to create my own role-playing setting, but like, that would be pretty cool. Because, you know, the great renaissance of self-publishing, indie publishing, means that technically, if you're an author with a popular series, you could do that just for your fans. Why not? Oh, yeah? That's good to know, Cranston. Thanks. Yeah, you're my expert, Cranston. I feel like you are very into RPGs and you like are full of knowledge about them. I can always depend on you when I needed a 5e rule. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Daffodil. Yeah, Critical Role. Yeah, was Green Ronin. Yep, yep. Yeah, Green Ronin, as I recall, is pretty good about like publishing like various worlds and stuff. It makes sense that Critical Role would have their own products. I mean, come on. Oh, do you guys want to see a pup date? I was so like unhappy at being late to stream today that it totally discombobulated me. I have a very cute video. I don't know if it'll translate over the camera, but I have a cute video of Keyleth, the sable puppy. Hold on, because their little eyes are open now. Pup date? Oh, everybody wants a pup date. Pup date. All right, pup date. 1 second. And we just finished base coating all that gold, so it's pup date time. 1 second, everybody. For those who are new to the stream, I'm getting a puppy, and I'm getting out... I'm getting videos and stuff from my breeder. So hold on, let me get to the appropriate thing. Okay, well first here's one of Keyleth, just for being cute here. You can see the little eyes are open. She is a pattern called Sable, so she has light and dark hairs. There she is. She's so cute. So cute. And Bridget is sitting there and she's like, can I get in your lap, please? You can see her little paws. She's standing there with her little chin on there. Yeah, okay, well you think that's cute, but she's so cute. She wants to get into the lap so bad.
Really like to be in that lap right now.
Yeah, wouldn't you want to pet that?
Stop looking at me like that. You started it.
So there we go. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Right, Julie? So cute. Yes, I just showed a video, Dogfather. That's okay, so Keyleth is hands down David's favorite. Like, he's gonna fight me. He says he won't. He's like, no, you pick the puppy. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna share my observations with you and we're gonna make this decision together. You know? But he seriously favors Keyleth. Seriously. And I like Lex, Pink Girl. But I could be convinced, so we'll see. We'll see. Oh, also, actually Bridget sent me a kind of cool picture. So you guys know this is an outcross litter. It's a breed where we bred out to a different breed, actually a different mix of breeds. And then we're breeding back to Shiloh Shepherds, right, to get better diversity and to get away from some genetic diseases that are more common in the Shiloh. So Bridget sent me a picture of the original outcross dog and then his son, who is this puppy's dad. And you can see the changes. So this is Buka. Buka is the half Wetterhound, half Standard Poodle. And he's the outcross dog. So he's a handsome dog. You can see the poodle coat going on, right? You can see that very wiry coat. He was bred to a dog named Phelan, who is a full Shiloh. And that's what you get. So notice the ears have shrunk, like they're much smaller, and they're kind of like standing out a little bit. Like they have a little bit of that strength. The head is still nice and broad, and the muzzle's still nice and broad. But so we got more breadth, and we lost the curly coat, and the ears got shrinkier, and we look maybe a little more shepherd. So he's a half Shiloh, and then 1/4 Wetterhound and 1/4 poodle. So then the next generation are these puppies. So since the ears are already small, we're like, maybe the ears will stand in this litter, and you'll get something that looks a lot more like a Shiloh Shepherd, which is, let me find the Zammy photo. Oh, come on. I know I've got a Zammy photo. There we go. Which is that. So that's mommy. That's our puppy's mommy. So yeah, so that's it's fascinating to me just to see the change in look with that one generation. So it's really cool. I don't know. I'm a genetics nerd, sorry. But yeah, the video how did Bridget gave us a pup summary yesterday, which is right now Keyleth, who's that brown sable girl, is more laid back, but she's also more independent. She likes to explore on her own. She's also not as much of a cuddler as her sisters. Lex, who's the pink girl, the dual, who I like, she really loves to snuggle. She has a bit of energy. She can go from 0 to 60 fast when she's hungry, but she calms down super fast too. And then Pike, who's the lavender girl, who's solid black, is the sweetest one. She's the real sweetie. She loves to cuddle, and she also showed the earliest signs of curiosity in her environment and trying to figure out her environment. So she was the most curious pup about the new stuff that Bridget introduced to the pen. So this is fascinating. Yes, 3/4 Shiloh in this litter. Correct. So we call that the F2. That's what geneticists term when you start doing this sort of thing. F2 is the second generation outcross, and it's 75% Shiloh. The next generation will be 87.5% Shiloh. And then at the F4, where you're up at like 94%, that's where you count it as pretty much a full Shiloh. If it's 94% Shiloh Shepherd, it's going to look and act like a Shiloh Shepherd. So that's kind of how outcrossing in today's dog world works. But the nice thing about 3/4 Shiloh is that we should get the benefit of the health, right? Like at that point, you still have some hybrid vigor going on. You still got a lot of diversity. Then the challenge is to keep that. And that's why we work with the University of California at Davis. Alrighty. Oh, and I need to do the little rings around the gems. I totally forgot that. Thank you, Thunderflux. Yeah, sorry, we had pup date. We had a puppy update for my litter that I'm waiting for a puppy from. So we got a little bit off topic, but I'm going to mix up some white because I blurfed a little bit on this, the ring around this gem, and I want to be able to sketch it in pretty solidly. So here's the front of that Thunderflux so you can see her. So we did the front, and now it is time to do the back. I'm filling in where these are going to be gold. The brown will be gold. And then I need to highlight the sleeves, the white parts of the sleeves, and do that gold, and then finish up the blue, which is the gemstones around the neck, and the pearls around the head, and these. And then spacing. So just a pretty much a few more sessions, I think. Let's see here. I need white because I wanted to make sure that was really nice and solid. But yeah, thanks, Thunderflux. I'm glad you like her. She's cool. I've wanted to paint this figure for a while. And I haven't done a burgundy and cream color scheme on anything I don't think for this whole stream. So I decided that I let people actually vote on which color scheme they wanted for this model, and this was what they voted on. Long time ago. All right, I got my pure white, which is just nice because it covers so well even when you thin it, so it's great for underpainting. Yeah, that'll be. I want to do 2-to-1 paint to water. Tomorrow is bust today, and I think we actually get to do the wool. Because we did a lot of gold. We didn't finish the gold, but we did a lot of it. So I think I want to try some wool. tomorrow for our, or sorry, Monday for our bust. Yeah, burgundy and cream is just a really, like, it's a nice, like, dramatic, striking color scheme. And, you know, you can bring the red up a little bit. It looks, it's just pretty. It's a nice, rich color scheme, I think. Alrighty. So let's fix up that little ring there. Just want to make sure this is nice and solid so that when I put the gold color over the top of it, it's consistent. And even thinned 2-to-1, the white has excellent coverage. The very highly pigmented white. It's our most highly pigmented white. The pure white, 9039. Get a bit more there. There we go. So again, just a couple of layers. Pretty much after you put the first layer down, it's going to be dry because you're using very little paint on your brush. So then you can just go over it with a second layer and you got a nice dark ring on that. Now we got to do this one. And again, just very little. You can see there's very little paint on my brush because you can see the point that it comes to. Man, I went and ordered a couple of brushes last night because I was ordering the basing stuff I wanted, the terrain stuff I wanted from Dick Blick. Boy, have Kolinsky's skyrocketed up in pricing with the pandemic and the inflation. You used to be able to get Kolinsky sable brushes on Dick Blick for like 12 to 16 bucks, sometimes even 10 bucks for the small sizes. And I did not get like away without paying more than 20 last night. It's kind of my habit to, whenever I'm on Dick Blick, to just order a couple extra brushes because, you know, they do have the Da Vinci Maestros in stock. Which is what I'm using right now, of course. Just limbered up a fresh one, so I figured I would order one to replace my back stock. I like to keep extra brushes on hand, just in case of another Kolinsky sable shortage. I also ordered, the size 2 in this series, which I hadn't had previously. But I wanted to give it a try. There. Alrighty, so we're set and we're ready to start doing highlighting on our gold. So let's mix up a color. I think today I want to use candlelight yellow for my yellow. We'll take one blob, there, one decent sized blob of our previous color, rich leather. Yeah, you know, and brushes are expensive until you remember that if you take decent care of them, they last for years. Literally years. So this guy, I mean, it took me over a year, I think, to break my last one. Because fire-breathing whales, why not? I think I saw that same ad, too. 1, 2, 3. 3 blobs of candlelight yellow. Well, that first drop was pretty big, too. But yeah, it's not the size of the brush, it's just the tip. You want a brush with a good tip. If you have that, everything else is cool. All right, so that didn't go quite as dark as I wanted it to. So because I got a little bit of extra paint there, my drops were big, so I'm gonna pop a little bit more. Want this to be a little bit more organic, a little less bright yellow. There we go, that's a little better. Darkened it down just a little tiny bit. And we're gonna transfer some of this over, plop some white in it, and get our highlight. But yeah, so I didn't look to see if they had Raphaels in stock, but I did look up the Da Vinci Maestros last night. And they do have all sorts of series in stock for those at Dick Blick right now. And I'm going to pop a couple of drops of water into that, another drop of water into that. There we go. Now we've got our progressions. Need it to be thinner so it'll come off the brush nicely. I'm using my mixing brush so I can brutalize it and not worry about the fact that I'm wrecking it. Yeah, if you don't paint a ton, yeah, I mean, I mostly go by feel these days, Thunder, but what I call a half drop, and that technically I do call half drops. So I'll squeeze a little bit out of my thing here, and I'll just pop it against the side. And that's about a half drop. Like if I squeeze about, half of a drop out of here and I just unload it on the side, that I do on occasion use half drops. But, I mean, when it comes down to it, close is good enough. I know they say that's only in horseshoes and hand grenades, but in painting, as far as color mixing, close is good enough. Unless you're trying to, like, if for some reason you didn't finish a base coat and you're trying to really, really closely match a color. But that's why, like, here I try to always finish a section and then, when I start up again, as long as the section is close enough, no one will notice the difference if I don't match it exactly. And I'll try to specifically finish like a section on the back of the model, and then, if I didn't finish a section on the front, that's fine. I can be a little different on the front to back. No one will notice. Oh, the Dick Blick meta. It's a US art retailer. dickblick.com. Alrighty, so we're going to start with our very rich yellow here that I mixed up. The very, very bright yellow. It won't look so bright once we put it over this brown, so I'm going to kind of generalize here and essentially do what I did on the front, where the top of each of these folds has a highlight. So starting with our bright yellow, we'll start to bring this up a bit. Yeah, I use the Series 10. That's what I prefer right now. Well, that's what I've preferred for over 20 years. Let's just go there. Let's just go there. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've ever tried the Series 70. What shape is that? Is it like a filbert? What shape is the 70, Meta? Because I know all the others, but I'm not familiar with the 70. Long round. Okay, okay. Interesting. Yeah, this is typically longer. Like this. I actually really like this bristle. This bristle length's about right for me. If I ever see one, I'll take a look at it. So you've got that brighter yellow coming in. You can see that coming up. It is not like, it has a decent amount of coverage. I've kept it thicker on purpose. It's like a 4 or 3 to 1. But I've kept it thicker on purpose so that I can get a little bit of coverage out of it. But yeah, I do, I discovered this brush many moons ago, and I do like the Series 10. I use a lot of Series 10. I tried a bunch of the others over the years just to test them out. I think everybody like gets to where their style is just really good with a certain shape of brush and size. Although I'll still experiment every once in a while. If I discover a brand, I'll give it a run. But DaVinci's construction is just top notch. Like, I've never had a bad brush from them, ever. I think I know one person who had one bad brush from them. Okay, that's good to know. Thanks, Mata. Or Mata. Cool. Sells as a set of 3. Yeah, that price point sounds about right for how expensive these brushes are right now. I'm glad that I have a backstock. I'm glad that I have extra brushes. I just have this habit of whenever I see them, I pick up 1 or 2 at a show. There. Okay, let's do the little scallops up here. And let's do that. Actually, let's do the center stripe. So this is with our yellowy ochre color, which is actually not yellow ochre at all. It's a bit more vibrant than that. So I'm going to try to keep my highlights in line with where my highlights on my little freehand is. Are, rather. That's funny, Gibson. So just bringing up the highlights. And if I go a little outside the line here, now it is going to count because this paint has better coverage. But I mean, I've got my Ergotho red right over here, and it's a good coverage red. So essentially, I'll just go through, and if I have some blobulous areas, I'll just go through and neaten those up right after I do this. Or actually, it probably makes more sense for me to finish up the highlights on this entirely, and then neaten up any blobulous areas. Cool Thunder, yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of them. The other brand I like is Raphael. Because I like the shape of their brushes for some stuff, for bigger models sometimes. There we go. So alternating with our little highlights here gives us that kind of rippling effect, which helps to like simulate kind of a gold thread effect. I do love using a fresh brush. This is a fresh brush and it's so nice. Alrighty, so now let's go up to our next highlight. Now that we've got that rippling effect started, we're going to go up to our pale yellow here. I'm going to shrink our highlights down smaller, but we're going to keep putting them. Oh, did you do it, Big Apple? I'm sorry, where is it? I missed it. I'm discombobulated today. It's a Monday. It's a Fry Monday. Hold on, let me go up and scroll up. Oh, I see you. Hold on, I see you. I see you up there. I think. Oh, there you are. Ah, yes, there you are. Right above there. Okay, you got it. I see. You didn't do it up top. You just did it down here. All right, everyone. Big Apple has subbed to us for an entire 2 years. This is a very long time. It's not as long as Trashorama, who had the, 36th month yesterday. But double subiversary, double subiversary, double subiversary, happy double subiversary. Thank you, Big Apple, for subbing to us for 2 entire years. All the finger hearts. And the tiny figure heart. There. Yeah, the Reaper Klinskis. Yep. Yeah, Trash. I like the, I used to use the Reaper Klinskis, like, for everything when I was staff painting at Reaper. So, the 0/5 was my workhorse brush. You guys have seen me use a 0 on stream as well. I have that sitting here. Reaper 0. And, the Aught 10 is good, too. Happy Appleversary. There we go. And joy rang out throughout the land. Indeed. All right, so a smaller highlight. We're going to start getting pinpoint. We're not going to quite get super pinpoint on this because we still need to apply a pure white highlight. But we'll get a little bit smaller. Also, I'm going to put in a little highlight right down here at the bottom. It's for reflected light. Ugh, it's been bad for my allergies lately. Yeah, so a little blurfy there. You can see that one got a little fat. That's okay, we'll trim it up. You can always correct your freehand. Like, try not to stress about it. And if you're using thin paint, you can go over and over it and not have any blobby buildups. Don't worry. Just like get her done, make it the best you can do, and move on to your next mini. As you do it, you get better. If you don't practice it, you won't get better. So even if you practice it on minis that you never want to show another living being, do practice if it's a technique you want to learn. Alrighty, a little tiny bit of highlight here, I think. So now we really are getting that kind of sparkly wave effect. I like that. Good. Now we just have a pure white highlight to add on. If we want, we can bring in a darker shadow. Sometimes I don't make my shadows as dark on stuff like gold thread, cloth of gold stuff. Especially not if it's a little line like this. Just because those things wouldn't necessarily be as dramatic as like a true like metallic gold like sheet or line or bar. So I don't necessarily go for as high a contrast, but you can if you want, and we can always take a little bit of brown and do that. So let's do our pure white first, though. So little tiny dots of pure white, just where the light is really going to hit, so really on the upper edge here of these folds. You don't have to strip them if you were using thin paint, Gibson. You can just like, actually if they're all, yeah, they're dark heaven, you could just prime over. The only reason to strip is if you've got really thick paint on there. But when I want to repaint, I honestly will just prime over. Yeah, something is in the air this morning. It's like yesterday, only a little bit worse. Time for a second allergy pill. So those little white pinpoints, just to snap it. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, Crows. Right. Did you glob it on? If you globbed it on with the paint, then you may need to strip the model. But if you work with real thin paint, you actually can get away with without doing that. I just don't strip minis anymore. I don't even bother. Oh, really? See, my perfectionism is just like totally trumped by my laziness, and also the fact that when I have tried to strip a mini, I've been completely unable to get it pristine again, and that kills my perfectionism, and then I just don't want to deal with it. So I decided that priming it was the better part of valor and saved me time and energy. but it may not be the same for you. So if you have good success with stripping models, and it gives you a mental reset on a figure, go for it. I just found it never was as effective as I wanted it to be. Yeah, see, I just always, there was always still paint in the cracks, so I couldn't get it perfect. So if I couldn't get it perfect with all that time spent stripping it and scrubbing the paint off, then why on earth am I doing it? I just started priming over. All right, going to get some Rigathoa red and just thin it just a tad. Just a little bit, probably 3-to-1, 4-to-1. So yeah, your mileage may vary with stripping models. It's just, I just wanted people to know that you don't have to. You do not have to do it. All right, so I'm going to mix up this Rigathoa red. It is a beautiful dark red. If you have not picked it up, it is one of the Pathfinder paints from Reaper, 89508. It is a beautiful dark maroon. It is the basis for our burgundy color on this dress. Where is my... There it is. Let's see if I can cover up enough. Yeah, there you go. So now you can see the color. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. And it also has really good coverage, relatively speaking. I've thinned it a bit too much here. There. So it's actually, there, that's more of a 4-to-1. It's got really good coverage for a 4-to-1. For a red. Ultrasonic cleaner, expensive. Why would I get one? No, not bothering. I just repaint. I just prime and repaint. Sometimes I just repaint, period. But yeah, there's a Forge World model that I own that's no longer available. It's one of their busts. It's one of the few like just purely for display models that Games Workshop made. It's a Tyrannid coming up through a like plate floor, metal floor, tearing its way up through there. And I started it and I totally like chose a terrible color scheme and I didn't want to do it, so I just primed over it. It's still sitting up there, staring at me. Currently, it holds up my my Widowmaker figurine. But I just priming it was good enough. Oh, the ultrasonic. Is that the same sort of thing they use for jewelry? Like, is that what you would use? Alrighty. So we've got a little white points. We can touch up our things now. Yeah, got it, Gibson. I understand needing the reset button. I do usually need to reprime to get that clean white slate again. All right, so I'm gonna just touch up a little bit of my line here where it has gotten out of control. It's much easier to even up a line this way, like, than to paint it straight in the first place. It's easier to just come at it a little bit from the outside and narrow it down, straighten it up. And of course, if you screw it up again, you've still got all your gold colors out, so you can touch it up. No, Gibson, no. Like, huge N-O on that one. Nids should be painted blue-green iridescent with black. Sorry. Not sorry. I actually, yeah, I detest the yellow. I detest the yellow color scheme, and I detest the cream flesh and red one that they've got for their standard Hive Fleet. They always just look so ugly to me. I think Tyranids should be pretty. I was very, very disappointed at this year's Golden Demons that there were not very many Tyranids representing. I was kind of sad. It's because they haven't gotten a new model in a while. It does make me very, very tempted to grab one of those Winged Hive Tyrants and go all out on it. Nids were my first real army in 40k, and I still have a fondness for them. It was just too much to paint, though. No, I think most people would agree with me, Beguiler. I did paint the orange goblins that Ron wanted. I've just also, like, gotten back at Ron sometimes with color schemes. So once again, I'm going to concentrate on the upper parts of these little arches. As we go further up, though, and these are more pointed, you know, the light is going to hit the side more. I'm going to shift to that because if these are embroidered, they're going to stick out. Oh, yuck. Yeah, that just sounds atrocious, Gibson. It makes me sad in my soul. Tyranids deserve better. I mean, the galaxy is just our buffet. That doesn't mean you have to give us bad paint jobs. Alrighty. I actually have an idea I've wanted to do for Golden Demon for literally decades now, and I just don't know that it's really like something that Games Workshop would like, so I don't know if it's worth doing for Golden Demon. Maybe I'll try. Kind of back and forth on it. I haven't actually submitted anything to Golden Demon at this point for 20 years, so if I go back and do this coming year, it'll be the first time in 2 decades, so I kind of figure I should not, like, I shouldn't, like, stick my head out. I should just paint a couple of things competently and just go for it. And then if I'm encouraged after that, then I will maybe go for more of a crazy idea the next year. They are mutated yellow jackets. Orange and green Pendrake. Technically, that's what I did on my big troll. The cave troll. He's got orange hands and feet, and he's green. Get all those little scallop things going on here. So did they end up having Reaper Live yesterday or no? I didn't have time to look since I was in a rush this morning. And on those flags, you can have a D20 on the orange goblins and a D6 on the green goblins. Alrighty. So there's our first highlight. Now we're going to go in with our second highlight on these little scallops. Yes, just John and Ed. Was there an update on the Justin? Are they surviving with the new baby? Or did they avoid talking about that? Short update. Oh, good. Very tired, yes. Thanks, M. Fontana. Hey, Roger. Thank you for the update. Yep, new parents, new baby, no sleep. Sleep dep is real. Everybody send Justin additional Z's. Justin and McKaylee both. There we go. We're getting that to start popping up. Only Justin's sleep schedule details. Yeah, Turgeon, I get it. It's so hard. Oh, come on. You knew that was going to be Justin, though. Pardon me. I need to blow my snout. The allergies are attacking. But we only have 15 minutes left, so. Ugh. Well, if you ever get to ReaperCon, it's a good starter competition, Gibson. Yeah, you don't know sleep depth till you've had twins? Yep. One of the instructors at ReaperCon, Brian Pearsall, he and his wife had twins. And gosh, I think they were born right at the start of the pandemic. We did a late pup date. I don't feel the need for another pup date. Maybe I should have even more pictures. Like, I should have pictures of everybody by Monday. The pups are good. Yeah. I think that's around when Brian had his too. Alrighty, let's at least get these brighter yellow on here. We should be able to finish all of this gold. Nap whenever it's safe. Yep. Yeah, the puppies are good. Their eyes are open. They're waddling around, trying to nom on each other because that's what puppies do. They're like, are you food? Everything is potentially food. They haven't figured out that nipples are special yet. Bridget hasn't given them their first real food yet. She's thinking about doing that next week. All right, get some lighter yellow highlights on everything, making it pop out. You can see the difference between our just kind of base plus a little bit of yellow, then with the next set of highlights up here, and then the final effect in the middle. Oh yeah, the puppies, you don't typically start weaning until like 3.5 weeks, Gibson. Depends on the dog though. Depends on the dog, depends on the litter. It's a very individual thing. Every breeder just kind of makes the call depending on how big the litter is. Like with a big litter, you might try weaning earlier because it spares mama. Things like that. Alrighty. You also have to look at your puppy's development because different breeds, different litters develop differently. Different rates. Let's get our lighter yellow all in here. You can see how that really picks those up. But yeah, you can't give them, you don't give them like food until they can until their eyes are fully open, their ears are open. That's usually toward the end of week. Like when they turn 3 weeks old is around the time when their eyes and ears are open, they can walk. Can't give them the food until they can really walk because they won't be able to get to it. You know, stuff like that. Puppy development stages, just like humans. Oh dear, Turgeon. Alrighty. A tiny touch of white is our final thing that we put on here. And I mean tiny, keep it very small or you'll cover up your pale yellow and then it'll look a little weird. So I'm really going to only just hit the top. Yeah, have fun, Crowley. Or don't, or have fun surviving, Crowley. Oh, funny. That's a good name. Lacey is a good name. We're still, I was playing with names yesterday, not call names, because David and I already have kind of a short list of call names for the puppy, but registered names. So you get a certain number of numbers. Those are the fancy names that you see on show dogs. But so I was thinking before it was just going to be kind of logical based on the puppy's call name, but now I'm kind of also thinking, because Bridget loves Critical Role so much that she named this entire litter after Critical Role Season 1, I am thinking about the puppy's registered name being something like Supernova's Critical Hit, which is, Supernova is Bridget's kennel name. Supernova Shilohs. Because you don't have to make your registered name have anything to do with the call name. Curious didn't. I need to use Bridget's name in there, and that makes it harder, Pendrake. Like, since she's the one who actually produced the litter, she's the actual breeder, so Supernova has to be in there, or SNS, but I don't like abbreviating. If I can use the whole Supernova, I will. Even if I don't put the Sparta on there. I would like to do the Supernova's blah of Sparta, but it may not work. Or Supernova Spartas, you can do a hyphen. That's what some breeders do. I don't want to overthink it too much, but right now I am thinking that Critical Hit would be a really cute registered name. And Bridget would die. She would be so happy. And I like making my friend happy. Because, yeah, otherwise I was thinking about various plays on Cerberus. We don't know that she's going to be a Cerberus, though. Like, it really depends. Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful. Cathan's Autumn Hurricane. Yeah, that's a beautiful name. Yeah, registered names are fun, because you have enough room. We usually have at least 30 letters, and so you can do some really pretty names with the registered name. But yeah, putting in the name of my kennel is definitely optional. The kennel name that must, by the rules, have be in there is Bridget's. All right, now I've totally, again, forgotten to do my little gemstone thing. So I'm totally going to have to do that. Have about... Yeah, Supernova's Nat 20. I thought about that. I thought about the Nat 20, but I like Critical Hit better because the Critical Role. But yeah, it would be cool to have a dog with a D&D registered name. So that's what we're thinking. That's what I'm thinking. And David will go with anything. Especially because Critical Role fans are called critters. So having the critical in there is, I think, a good thing. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe not. Maybe it won't suit her. Lost a little bit of my shadow in there. Birdie Destroyer of Worlds. That's great. Yeah, it's fun when the owners really get into it. Like most of our breeders will kind of default. Like if you don't actually name your dog, if your dog's name is Star, and you don't actually send your breeder a registered name, and your breeder's name is like Sadie, then it would be Sadie's Star will be the registered name. They won't get too into it. But it's fun when the owners actually get like into choosing a cool registered name. So Destroyer of Worlds is a really good one, especially for Golden. Yeah, Supernova's a little critter, but then she won't stay little all the time. We also have Callie, short for Calliope, the Muses, and then Talia, which is also a Muse. Those are probably the two others that David likes, either Callie or Talia. Depending on if our puppy is not like, really a Cerberus type of puppy. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if she's a Siri or a Callie or a Talia. I think Lyra was in there too, but I think we didn't like that one as much. So I think it's down to those three. And I really like Muse names, so I'm like happy about that. No, it's Thalia. Talia or Thalia, depending, but often was a hard consonant in Greek. The Muse of Laughter, the Muse of Comedy is Thalia or Talia. So that is another thing we'll be looking at. If she's a really funny puppy, she may end up being a Talia. Yes, like that, Pendrake. Correct. I've always liked that name because I like the whole Muse of Comedy thing. But I've always liked Calliope, Callie as well. Who I think is the Muse of song or music or instrumental music. I don't remember. There's a lot of music because there's probably Hymna too. There's a lot of musical muses. No. I'm not going to put the actual call name in the and you want to usually do supernovas. Like there is either of supernova or supernovas. That's kind of the conventions. But yeah, I don't want to put the call name in the actual name. Part of the fun is not doing that. Kiri's call name had nothing to do with her registered name. And I was fine with that. Some people do relate the two, but I have no urge to do so. Alrighty, let's hit the highlight. Need to hit the white highlight on this side. But it's not Natalia, it's Thalia or Talia. Natalia is a totally different name, which I believe is Russian. Hey, Sentimental, thanks for the raid. It's Boris and Natasha, actually, I thought. It's not even the right name. Thanks, Sentimental. Hope you're doing well. I'm hanging around. Doing things. It's kind of just another Monday today, so I'm kind of waiting for the weekend. How about you? Doing good? Okay, cool. Aha, see? See? Gibson? Thanks. I thought so. It's the wrong name. Pendrake's not respecting our Greek names, guys. We do have squirrels, but we don't have moose here. Let's see here. Although there is a Rocky. There's not a Bullwinkle, but there is a Rocky in the pedigree of this puppy. Gibson. Oh yes, Overwatch. Are you in on the beta? I played the first beta. I did get into it, and I'm probably gonna play some of the second beta tonight. You didn't get in. You should, even if you didn't get in, check Sentimental, because everybody who applied to get into the beta was supposed to get access yesterday. Like everybody. So double check. Double check, you guys. Double check. Yes. Yes. Oh shit. Really? Yes. Like supposedly everybody who wanted in was supposed to get in for a few days at least, starting yesterday. Yeah, the 14th. Or maybe that was the day before. No, we're the 15th day. Yeah, it was supposed to be yesterday. Yeah, go check. Go check. Go click on your thing and try to download the beta thing. Yeah. Try. See, I'm glad you're all excited. I'm excited too. Even though Mercy sucks right now. So I've been playing Lucio. A lot of Lucy. Because I'm very comfortable with him. I can play BAP, but I'm not great on him. Yeah, I think the developers have said that they're not happy with Moira or Mercy right now, Beguiler, so they're going to continue to tackle those. Yeah, I like BAP a lot. Mercy was my first love, though, and she's my comfort pick. Like, as far as, like, which healer I am best at, it is unquestionably Mercy. I'm a decent Lucio. Decent. Getting better at wall riding and stuff, but yeah, BAP I feel like I get too, like it's hard for me to switch between shooting and healing. I watch the pros do it and I'm just like, they just like effortlessly flip back and forward and they're always like they're on it and I'm just like, man, it's so hard. So hard. But I do like playing him. It's fun. I like his abilities. All right, there we go. So we've got our gold, guys. It's so shiny. Look how shiny that is. Shiny. Very shiny. Yeah. Yes, you get 5 now. I know, right? I do kind of like the dynamic with the 5. I don't know. At least in pro play, because I follow Overwatch League. I love Overwatch League, so I always watch. Because the pros are so much better than us. David and I both watch. And, I do like the dynamic feel of the game at 5 with 5. But yeah, I can see if you have 6 people you've been playing with forever, then it's a real bummer. So I actually mixed up a little bit of brown here using my Urgathoa red mixed with my rich leather. It makes kind of a weird reddish brown, but it is still good for shadows. So I'm just using little touches of it here and there where I want a little bit dark. Oh, interesting, Gibson. Yeah, I don't have trouble shifting back and forth on Lucio. I have trouble just like if I start shooting people on BAP, I get too into it because I used to play a lot of soldier. So I never know on Baptiste when it's time to like, when's the best time to like damage and heal. And it seems like the pro's just like, and I'm just like, eh. Yeah, but I just do a lot of flipping back and forth on Lucy. I haven't played his, I haven't switched his set. But that's a good tip. That's interesting. Holding shift to speed. That would make sense. Because then you wouldn't accidentally flip and have to waste a split second flipping back. So I could see how that would be actually really good. Thanks, Gibson. Yeah, ADHD necessary for BAP. Yep, I'm getting that. All right, let's add in a little bit darker shadow here on the dress. So I'll show you guys what I'm doing. I'm just plopping down some of that, and then I'm adding in some of that. And it gives me kind of a neutral brown here. See the difference? So remember, browns are just muted oranges. So when we have a muted yellow, which is this, and we add a muted red, we get a brown. And normally I would use a darker brown, but since I've got these colors open on my palette, I'm just going to use them. And I'll use them to kind of add in a slightly darker shadow on my gold in just a couple of places. Because it is a little bit darker. And since it's only little touches, it doesn't matter if it blends in a little bit with the dress. That's just not going to really register. Yeah, I feel like I could get better at BAP. I probably should just commit to BAP, like just hard commit, and just play it until I learn to play it. But yeah, those are my 3 supports. And I'm a support player. I'm really tempted to try to pick up Anna, but her whole scoping in and scoping out and needing accuracy kind of scares me a little bit. I don't know if I would be a very good Anna. I probably need to just queue up a practice game where I just practice healing my team as Anna. Oh, Baptiste. We're talking about Overwatch. Overwatch 2 beta is live right now. They make the beta live for a bit, and then they go back to the drawing board and they do adjustments, and then they make a new beta live, and they're going back and forth and sharing with the community and getting a lot of community input on the new game, which I really appreciate. I know some people are like, oh, it's not as exciting, but I'm like, no, I'm all for it. So yeah, I play healers, Val, so... Yeah, right, son. That's how I feel sentimental, as I would love to play her, but I probably would suck at her. Yeah. If you've got a good team, then that's nice. Yeah, it's a weird shooter, though, Val. Like, I never played shooters ever before Overwatch. Yeah, I can play Moira. I feel like I'm not great at Moira. I feel like Moira would be more enjoyable if my team was better. But everybody's all over the place, and then you get jumped. I'm not a very good player, so I play with other people who are maybe not that great. So yeah, the May one's really nice. I liked the new one, actually. I liked the one for Junker Queen. I thought it was very entertaining, very Mad Max. I liked it. Very Borderlands. It was fun. Different style. But yeah. So you know the world. That's half of what attracted me to the game anyway, Valandar, was the world is so cool. All right, it's about quarter after. We managed to touch up everything. We managed to NMM everything. We have a finished back. Now we have to do the white on the sleeves, which shouldn't take us that long because we need to put in some shading and highlighting on the sleeves. And then it's just the blue and the base, guys. So I think we've done well. We're making progress. I'll have to do some touch-ups at the end because since this is a metal model and since it is so very, it's just huge and heavy, we are getting some rub-off, and that will happen here and there, especially when it's just like up here. I haven't really highlighted the reds up on the top here either. So we have a lot of red and cream highlighting to do on the back of the model specifically because I did highlight the red up here. So where you only have a base coat on, it's very easy to get a little rub off on a heavier model like this, even when you're holding it by the bottom. So we'll just have to do a touch-up at the end, and then I'll probably actually will seal this model precisely because of that, because she's such a big, heavy model. And then a little extra sealer won't hurt. But yeah, I think she's looking great, and I'm going to start thinking about what kind of parquet floor we want to put on her, or something fancy tile. Yeah, no, Reaperland is a maybe. Everybody's disrupted, huh? Justin gets no sleep. Justin's not happy. Ain't nobody happy. All right. Alrighty. Yes, thanks to everybody. Thanks, Quinn. Justin is too happy. And now nobody else is happy? That doesn't make sense. Hey guys, I'm going to be streaming tomorrow on my channel, I think. We'll be working, I don't know, we were working on Bard Song figures before. I'm not sure what I'll be working on. Wolfie, Bard Song, maybe my new figure. I don't know. But yeah, so I'll be streaming tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. USA Central Time on twitch.tv/paintingbig. Remember, I also have, as Quindy has linked, I has a YouTube, I has a Patreon. Go check it out. Thanks, everybody. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you again on Monday, hopefully with a new pup date. All right, have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye.